In this video, we're going to show you to install the alternator on your Toyota Camry located underneath your hood. Use a 12mm wrench to loosen the bolt on the terminal. Go ahead and give that a wiggle, pull it off and set it aside. After we have the ground terminal and the battery disconnected, we go ahead and remove this cap here. Slide that back, and we're going to use our 10mm socket to go ahead and loosen and remove that nut. Right on the top side of this rubber boot, you're going to push down. There's a little spring-loaded tab. Wiggle that. And pop that connector off. Using our 12mm gear wrench, we're going to loosen the nut here. Using a 14mm socket on the back bolt here. I'm going to go ahead and loosen this. Grab that belt and just give it a little tug. Pop that belt off. Now normally we can just pop that right out of that bracket, but if it seems to be stuck, simply grab a little pry bar, go behind the alternator here in that bracket, and just give that a little persuasion, make that want to come out. Take the new alternator, line that up, work that into that bracket. Now we're going to run this bolt in almost all the way. We're not going to snug it down because we want to make sure we have the adjustability up and down. Let's go ahead and line up our belt. Pop that into place. I'm going to bring this up and try and get that bolt in there. Now, for any reason, if you can't get that belt on, because our belt was a little bit stretched out, I want to go ahead and come up here to our adjuster. And we're going to loosen this here, and it's going to bring our adjuster bracket down a little bit. Just turn that to the left, spin that down a little bit. Good, get that bolt started there. Now we're going to do the same thing here. We're not going to tighten this down all the way. There's a washer between here. We're going to tighten this down to the point where it just starts to grab that, but still has a little bit of play. Right there. Let's go ahead and tighten up the tensioner here. And what we're looking for as far as slack goes is when we push this belt in and pull it out, we want roughly about a total of 1 inch in and out. So a 1/2 inch in and out, 1/2 inch, which would make a total of 1 inch play. Right there is good. Now if you set this too loose when you start up the vehicle, you might hear a belt squeal. shut down the vehicle, and you're going to want to go ahead and tighten this down just a little bit more. You don't want to make it too tight because then you can burn out the bearings in the new alternator and your AC compressor down below. So now that we're set good here, you can check that tension. We now go ahead and tighten down our bolts here. Make sure that's good and tight. Double check that tension, perfect. Let's go ahead and get that back bolt. We'll finish tightening that one down. And once we get these both tight all the way, we'll install our wires. Now just to note that your belt here goes around the crankshaft down below, the AC compressor, and then up to your alternator. Take your connector here, line that up. You want to push it on. You should feel that clip into place. And on the top, we're going to spin off that nut. And press that cable down. There's little tabs in there that will help it lock into place. Go ahead and snug that down. Once you're all set there, you slide your cap back over and push that down and snap it on. Install the ground terminal, twist that down. Going to tighten down the nut. Now once this nut bottoms out, you want to give it a little bit more. You want to make sure it's good and snug, but you don't want to over tighten it. You can damage the terminal end if you over tighten it. So snug that down, give this a wiggle, make sure it doesn't twist on that post. If it does twist, go ahead and tighten this down a little bit more and then check it again. Ours is good, we're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.